Jon, if your coworkers hear your KD takes, are you in trouble?
No.
Okay. Just double checking.
Welcome to Drafted. I'm your host, Daniel Prentice, and as always, I am joined by my dear friend and tremendous co-host, Preston Thompson. Preston, how are you doing? What are you drinking today, my friend?
I'm going to be honest. I'm not doing great. I'm sick.
No.
I'm tired. I had
geez.
so much work to do today. I
You
still
got the
have
COVID?
so much work to do.
You got the Delta?
I don't think so. I'm just absolutely worn out, is really
sure.
what it is. But you know what? I'm already feeling better because I just heard your lovely intro and it reminded me that we're about to do some fun, stupid stuff. And it just like immediately puts me in a better mood.
Boy, if
and
that's
what am I
not a
drinking?
summary of the brand.
Yeah, I know. And I'm drinking one of those pre-made like muscle milk protein things because I haven't had a chance to eat anything because I've been like I had 3 work lunches today and didn't eat at any of them. So that's a problem.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm here.
A peek behind the curtain. We are recording in the afternoon on a Monday, and Preston started the Zoom meeting about 4:45, and was eating potato chips and said, "This is the first thing I've eaten all day."
Just downing them.
I felt so bad for him. But thankfully, we're joined. I think we're going to be buoyed by this guest this week. He'd been dead to me since his last appearance on the show, but we were so desperate for a guest. People are like doing things now that COVID is like somewhat over. We just can't get anyone to come on the show anymore. So we were so desperate. We came to this guy who's my mortal enemy now. It's Jon Wolf, who you will remember from the 2000s TV show Draft. Is that right, Jon? How are you doing? What are you drinking today?
Daniel, Preston, great to be back. I was actually on the favorite movies of all time, or the movies you would take with you on an island to
IMDb
watch
top
forever.
100.
Movies. Yes, sorry, movies, not TV shows.
Listen,
right.
they all blend together for us. You have to understand.
It's good to
It's
be
been
back
a long
from the
second
dead.
season.
Yeah, and luckily, you don't have to worry about me doing anything. So I was very excited to get the call. Happy to be here. I'm actually drinking some red wine.
Red wine.
Thank
Wow.
you, Preston. I thought Daniel was going to judge me right off the bat.
No, it's classy. Class it up. I think the show could use a little bit more of that. If I'm being
Good for your heart.
honest.
Good for your heart.
That's what I heard. It's a little red blend. It's very nice, and for 3:00 in the afternoon that we're recording or whatever, 5:00, I don't know what time it is, but
It's okay, man.
It's good for any time. That's what I'm saying.
Are you going to shout out like the brand or anything? Or is it just like generic red wine?
It's out of a box.
Yeah, it's Franzia.
Red wine brand.
For those that aren't watching, I just have a straw in a huge box. If you hear what sounds like me hitting a wall, that's just me slapping
the bag.
Slap the bag.
Yeah, get it aerated on the inside a little bit.
I don't think that's what that does. I'm not a scientist, but
That's not.
No, listen.
I don't think so. And
else
I
was
myself, I am drinking a Daycation IPA from Highland Brewing in Asheville. It was just in my fridge. I'm sure someone left it at my house from the last
Isn't
time
that
I
the
had
best?
people over or something.
Yeah.
You find that free beer in the back corner because you think you're running low, and it turns out to be like something pretty good.
Yeah, it's really not bad. We're having a tropical storm right now where I am as I'm recording this. So hopefully we don't lose power. But it's like a throwback to the old hurricane party for me this draft. Oof. I'm excited. But Jon doesn't know what we're drafting. Preston, what are we drafting for this episode?
We're going to spring it on him right now. That's not true. Okay. We are drafting today celebrities to repopulate the earth after the end of the world. With a twist, we are drafting the worst possible team. I think Daniel and I were both looking through the list. I'm sure Jon had a similar experience where I'm like, it's hard to find the top of the barrel and it's easier to find the bottom. Like, oh, well, this person wouldn't be like bad, but they also wouldn't be great. They'd probably just like be fairly like chaotic neutral. So we thought it'd be more fun to create like a chaotic evil or lawful evil team here. And it's going to be fun because talking about what makes other people bad is what makes you feel good.
Yeah, 100%. I have to say, this episode idea was actually suggested by Jon in our Discord. Join the Discord. Link will be in the episode description where you can give us ideas for future shows and we'll maybe do them. Maybe we'll even have you on as a guest potentially. And John was upset with me that I switched it or suggested that we switch it to worst. He really wanted to draft The Rock. He really wanted to draft Vin Diesel. I think John likes celebrities a lot more than I do anyway. Maybe
good.
Preston as well. And to clarify, we are drafting from the Forbes 100 highest earning celebrities list from the year 2000. And I there's something we needed to talk
about. Not 2000.
Here. Sorry, 2020.
Because that would be funny.
Yes.
That'd be like Gwen Stefani and
2020
better
or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was just thinking like 20, whatever. There is a celebrity on here that I think should be certainly someone that should be picked who is no longer alive.
Yes.
I think we should include them because
Yes.
I think they will be one of the most fun people to discuss. Are we all cool with that? Okay.
I agree.
Okay. I am 100% sure that we all know exactly what I'm talking
That's
about.
such a great tease. Such a great, fantastic tease. Now
Yeah.
people can't wait to hear who it is.
Yeah. And I feel like we probably won't have to wait very long to figure out who it is. But we do have John as the first pick of this draft, Preston as the second, and then myself as the third pick. And then, as always, snake style draft. So the even rounds will be reverse order. Do we have anything else that we need to get out of the way before we get started here?
It's all in good fun. If we ruin somebody for you and we're like, oh, I thought they were nice, and it turns out they're actually terrible. Like,
No,
we're
you know
sorry,
what?
but
If
we're not
if
that
you
sorry.
if you like any of the people that I'm going to draft, then that's on you at this point.
I have some pretty irredeemable characters on my list, so yeah.
I mean, by the end of the draft, there might have to be some people that are like more questionable, but
Mhm.
yeah, John. Do you have anything that you need to get off your chest before we get started?
I don't know. I went through this list of 100 people, and I'm telling you, each of them, I had at least one redeemable quality about how they could help repopulate Earth. I mean,
did.
originally I thought we were going to Mars or something, so that requires some different skill sets than what I originally was planning for. But repopulating Earth, I don't know. I think it's tougher than you think. I might argue with you a little bit.
I mean, if you didn't, it probably wouldn't be a very entertaining episode. So that's good to hear. But if you do drop another all Star Wars movies are bad take on us, then it might actually be your last time on the show. But without further ado, just kidding. We love John. Why don't you get us the first pick of the worst celebs to repopulate the Earth, John?
Yeah, I mean, I think this one's pretty easy to go for repopulating Earth. Usually, like I said, you want to have people that are there to get your back, get things done. Scientists, doctors, entertainers. This person might think they're an entertainer, but I would call them maybe the grandfather of hate talk radio. He really fueled a lot of bias, denigration. I would say he is the ideal worst pick to restart humankind for all of those qualities, but mostly, as you mentioned, Daniel, he's dead. So I'm going to go with Rush Limbaugh with my number one pick to restart.
It's a good first overall choice. The
Yeah.
reason every Thanksgiving of the last 25 years has been ruined.
Yeah,
Mr. Rush Limbaugh.
it's this guy.
Yep. I mean, what else is there to say?
I don't know that there is much. It's
I'm curious if you
fantastic
said
first pick.
If you said you found one redeemable quality about everybody,
Yeah,
in
that
the top
is
100, what is the redeemable quality?
that is what I want to hear.
You're right. I did say that, huh?
You said every single one.
Well, you know what Rush would bring to everyone is he's not going to be a yes man. You know that. So you have a president.
It's gonna be the devil's advocate.
If you're bringing a crew together, you can count on him to really peg you down a notch, maybe two.
Oh my god.
I do have some
Wow.
really good quotes of his if you want me to read them.
Yeah,
off.
lay them on us. Lay us. I
Yeah,
don't know
sure.
what I'm saying.
This one sort of hits close to home here.
Uh-oh.
This was in 2004. He said, "I think it's time to get rid of the NBA. Call it the TBA, the Thug Basketball Association.
Mm.
And stop calling them teams, call them gangs."
Oh my god.
That was a
Oh
good
my
one.
god. Oh my
What
God.
that? See, 2004. That probably would have been in response to the Malice at the Palace, right? Was that around 2004?
I thought that was
Maybe.
earlier.
I thought so too. This one's good too. He was talking about the Chinese president in 2011. He was talking about translating him. I'm not going to read the entire paragraph.
Please
but
don't.
I'm actually not going to read it at all because it's very.
You're backpedaling already before you can start.
Yeah, I'm not going to read that. But you.
I think I remember what you're talking about, though. Yeah,
Yeah.
just imagine how Rush Limbaugh would handle somebody basically like with an accent. And
just one of the worst human beings of our time.
It was like Rush Limbaugh doing his Breakfast at Tiffany's impersonation. Is that Mickey Rooney who's in that? I don't remember that guy. Oh,
Mickey Rooney, yeah.
Mickey
really
Rooney,
bad.
Thank you.
Really offensive and horrible. I tried to watch that movie and then got to that part and was like, nope, can't do it.
Yep,
it's like it's you can't get over it.
Well.
It really does not. By the way, the Malice the Palace, the nickname for the Pacers Pistons. Why can't I speak today? The Pacers Pistons brawl was in November of 2004.
Oh, maybe you are correct then.
I feel like that was probably. But yeah, I mean, there is nothing redeemable about Rush Limbaugh. He was a disgusting human being whose presence on the earth made it an overall worse place. So it's a perfect first pick for this draft. Preston, how are you going to follow
positive start? Oh God, I don't know. Well, I have two others in S tier here. I'm going to keep our trend going.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with maybe not the grandfather of Hate Talk Radio, but the father of Hate Talk Radio. And I'm going to go with good old Sean Hannity.
Yeah.
I did text Daniel and I was like, how did Tucker Carlson not make this list? And we were both kind of confused why he wasn't on the list. But I feel like that's a good caveat to say is that I'd probably be taking Tucker here. But Tucker's not on the list. So Sean Hannity is like a nice way to round out those crazy alt-righty nut job people. I'm trying to come up with a case of why Sean Hannity would be worse than Rush Limbaugh. And what I will tell you is that I think more people watch Sean Hannity than listened to Rush Limbaugh at their peaks. Part of that is just we're a bigger country to live on. But like in terms of raw reach, Sean Hannity is one of the most listened to or watched people on the history of planet Earth. And why you think that might make him good for this exercise, it actually makes him incredibly dangerous. So there you go.
Yeah, it's time for the John test again. What was your one redeemable quality for Sean Hannity, John?
Hey, I mean, he can really capture and engage the minds of many people. And
he throws a football really well.
Yeah.
Does
he actually?
Yep. Now, at the end of every one of his shows, he takes a football from under his desk and he pelts it at the cameraman. And I think it's like one of those dumb sign-off things, and he's usually terrible at it. Mm-hmm. So he can't even really do that right.
Yeah, I mean, basically everything I said about Rush is true of Sean Hannity. When I was doing my very small amount of prep for this draft, I as you know, I often do make the tiers as Preston popularized early on in this show, and I had two people in my S tier. And they were Rush and Sean. And I was really hoping that I was not going to the third pick, which obviously ended up happening. So I'm pretty sad about that. These are clearly the two. I mean, I don't know how many conservative listeners we have on to this podcast. I'm sure we have a few.
You're going to find out.
Yeah, we're about to find out.
do let us know in the Discord if you have any argument as to why these two would be good. So
we can promptly remove you from our Discord. No, I mean, listen, here's what I will say. We might have some conservative listeners, and it will comfort you to know that Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh aren't conservatives. They're just insane people.
Well, I guess, yeah, that's kind of fair. Conspiracy theorists. They're just dangerous people, I think. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
Like
they would be in this situation.
Killed.
Yeah, they would be the first ones of our groups of celebrities to decide that the best course of action was to eat somebody. It's only been us for like 4 hours. Are you sure we can't like forage or something? Like, no, we need to eat this one person over here.
That's the thing. That's the problem. Another problem with Rush is he might have been the most eatable of everyone on this list.
Why do you say that?
He just was a rotund fellow.
Oh. When you wrap
let's do a draft of most eatable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hold on, wait a minute. Look, no one should, right? But if you were going to eat someone, would you prefer them to be more rotund and fatty or more lean? And
no. The flavor is in the fat, man.
Yeah, but if it's too much, you know,
you want a well marbled meat. You know, you don't want a super lean cut of beef.
Yeah, right, you want a Wagyu Limbaugh.
Yeah,
it just melts in your mouth.
Oh
Not
my
in your
God,
hand.
guys.
Exactly.
This is
Alright.
not.
Let's
have
save
a-
that one.
oh.
Let's save that one for the subscriber only cut.
Okay.
Okay. For my first two picks here, I have to go a totally different direction. Obviously, pretty similar picks there between Rush and Hannity. I spent a lot of time debating which way to go with this because I was pretty sure that those two picks would be off the board by the time they came to me. I am going to go with my first pick here, who I think is like maybe more of a symbol than anything else, but I think is the worst offender of like celebrity obsession, and as another person who I think is their presence in the culture has just made all of us dumber and worse people, and that is Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, let's hope Lauren's not listening to this episode.
Oh no, Lauren's a Kardashianite.
She's not like obsessed, but you know, she dabbles in the fandom. I will say, compared to another person on this list, or several other people on this list, Kim Kardashian did at least at a certain point was a normal human being. Now that was when she was like maybe 11. But there are some people on here that at no point in their life did they ever have a normal life. Like,
yeah, perhaps
Kim Kardashian had a normal life for a moment. It was for a moment.
Not to knock my own pick, but I think the real like evil mastermind of that whole operation is clearly the mother, Kris
Jenner. Yeah.
But she was not on this list.
Correct.
But I just like can't imagine Kim. I just can't imagine that. Like, she's already had such an impact on society, and to me, it's pretty much all negative. And then if you make her one of the 6 like founding figures, so to speak, I want no part of that.
I will say, because we're splitting hairs here,
Mm-hmm.
Kim Kardashian does often advocate for people who are wrongly imprisoned, and she gets them out of jail using her ginormous platform. And there are other people that have her wealth and her platform. No, she's done it several times. There are other people that have her wealth and her platform and only do bad stuff. She also does bad stuff. I'm not trying, but we're splitting hairs here. Yeah, and also, the real mastermind behind the Kardashian family is on this list, but I don't think he will be drafted.
Wait,
Should I say who it is? Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan
Ryan Seacrest is the executive producer of that show, and he is the one that plucked that family from obscurity and said we should make a TV show out of them. And he has made an absolute killing off of that family.
I learned something new today.
Now, I think Ryan Seacrest is not like as bad as some of the other people we're drafting, but he is probably the mastermind behind that.
Yeah, okay. That is tough. I did not know about Ryan Seacrest. He seemed like a very just like I wasn't going to draft him. He certainly wouldn't have been picked in like the best celebrities draft if we had done that. But.
I think he's right in the middle.
Well, next I think I have to go for the perfect partner for Kim. It's sitting right there.
Yep.
And this is a man who has really fallen from grace. I think most people probably liked him a good deal at one point, but that was feels like so long ago now. And that is a man who's just truly lost his way, and that is Kanye West. And just the two of them, I think, when you go Kim, I think you have to go Kanye. I actually kind of flirted with having Kanye as an S tier pick. I think he isn't, but he was
in my S tier.
Oh, really? Nice. So I do like to hear that. And I think having Kim and Kanye together, I think really elevates both of them and magnifies their terribleness.
He is the perfect chaotic neutral pick on this board. He's just like, he's so wildly unpredictable. He's going to be a complete liability in this situation where we're trying to rebuild the earth. Like, you will wake up one morning and he has stayed up the whole night and he has torn down the ship you were going to use to sail across the ocean because he wanted to build something else instead. Like, he's just completely out there. He will not work on a team. Yeah.
And he finds a way to like blame you for it somehow.
Oh, absolutely.
I think you made it worse too by having them together since they're no longer together. That's just
are they no longer together? Is that true?
You have a divorced couple on your team now, which is going to
add an interesting
dynamic.
I think
like a couple months ago.
Yeah, man.
They're still in the process of splitting up. Yeah.
Is that why he's living at the Atlanta Falcons?
He's clearly going through something. Yes, and he is living in the rafters of Mercedes-Benz.
Did he release that album yet? I'm in a Discord where they were like obsessed, and I guess he just kept not releasing it.
No,
not yet.
Donda is still nowhere to be found.
Why is it called Donda?
It's his mother's
the name of his mother. who passed away. Yeah, don't you feel like a jerk now?
Yeah.
I do a
Anything
bit.
else you want to throw out there, Dan?
I
Go
thought
ahead,
it was gonna be
Dan.
like
Yeah.
Bury him.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like some Spanish reference.
Yeah, sure.
That's
Like
dope.
Donde est,
yourself up.
whatever. I didn't know. I didn't know Kanye's mother's name. I'm sorry. I'm not obsessed with the Kardashian West family. I didn't even know they were fucking divorced.
They're not even a family anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're always a family. They have children together, John. Who's the bad guy now?
Yeah, it's
So-
true. What a jerk. I'm the only good guy left.
Right?
Yeah. How you gonna hold it down, Preston, with your next pick?
Well, I think I'm gonna round out the theme that you were going with, and take the only other player left in my S or A tier, and they will suddenly all be gone, which means this draft is kind of
interesting.
gone how I thought it was gonna go.
I have a lot of A tiers left.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go Kylie Jenner. Now, here's the contrast point I was making with Kim, because I was thinking Kim versus Kylie. Kylie never had a normal life. Kylie had a camera put on her when I believe she was 7 years old. If she has the best of intentions at all times, she still will not know or understand what it is like to be a normal human being on planet Earth. She just won't get it. Even if she really wants to do the best, she's not gonna be able to do it. Kim at least got her driver's license as a normal teenager. Kylie has been brought up in a system that broke her. And she's done very well for it. She's like the youngest billionaire we've ever had on the planet, which is crazy. But I think that is why Kylie is a superior pick to Kim.
She was number one on the Forbes list for most money made by like 400 some $1 million.
Yes, it's insane.
Which is one of the most depressing things
Mhm.
I've read in quite some time. And that's saying a lot because there's a lot of shitty things to read these days.
Yes. No, I mean, Kylie looked like a normal girl, and then she turned like 17. She had work done, like this is a thing, and then came out with a makeup brand. And the implication there is you can do this too if you just buy my makeup brand. And you know what? That simple premise made her $1 billion. So
It
There
worked
you
for
go.
me.
How, man? I don't get it.
well, we're all dudes, so I don't know that we're the best authorities to speak on something like female insecurity, but
I'm just I feel so
Whoops.
beaten down by the Jenner Wests Kardashians.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That makeup worked for me, so I'm doing pretty well. But
also
You
what
do look great, John. You are glowing. I have to say.
you're glowing.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
Yeah.
glowing.
you.
Also, I think a dynamic we're going to start considering here as we get into the later rounds is how our team interacts with each other. And I think Sean Hannity is a great foil to Kylie Jenner. I think they're going to play off each other in a very interesting way, and basically not get along at all.
Yeah, that's a reality show I really do not want to tune in for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
the more chaos, the better, right?
Exactly.
All right. I guess I'm up, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
back to
Man, I
back
got
picks.
back
here.
to backs here.
You do indeed.
Jeez. Well, I think I don't know, this might be a surprise for you guys, but as soon as I saw this name on the list, I started to just get annoyed because it brought me back to times where it must be in this person's personality to just think that they can do whatever they want and everyone wants to listen to them at all times, wherever you are. So I'm putting Bono on my list.
Oh,
People I hate
interesting.
to have
That's
on my team.
interesting.
Because I'm thinking of, wow, when I go to a new place, I'm repopulating humankind. I want to breed good musicians, good entertainers. And this guy,
Let's be careful with the word
look,
breed. shall we?
overrated. Let's say that. I remember I watched Taken the other day,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know if you guys remember, but the whole point of the girl leaving is because she wants to follow U2 on tour.
I
And
don't
I
know.
just remember, who does that at all?
Who does that?
No one.
Who's
And-
doing that?
And I don't want any middle-aged cargo short wearing like old men, air monarchs. I don't want any of that on my new planet. So I'm gonna bring Bono. Let's do
Wow,
it.
this is a shocking pick to me. I did not have Bono on my list at all.
Well, I didn't think
I
you
had
did.
him on my list, but I had him much lower. He has a very strange relationship with like people that are less rich than he is. Because I want to say philanthropy, but that's not even really it. Like he almost just doesn't get it. And I think that's kind of what I was going to take him for.
He's a weird dude. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah, super strange, and would just be a really hard personality to gel with. And again, if we're talking about combinations, Rush Limbaugh and Bono, solid pairing.
That's true.
Solid pairing in terms of people
fair.
who have literally nothing in common.
Well, yes, literally, because one of them's dead.
You're just going to take every opportunity to bring that up.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's the easiest one. But I guess for my next pick, maybe this is just a personal choice as well. I'm going to go Bill Simmons.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think, go ahead, Jen. I'll let you tell the pick.
He may get along with Bono, and that's okay. And I think because they would get along, it would stir up even more hatred because they're both just sort of in that arrogant space, one more than the other. But you can only listen to the Celtics for so long. You know, I think if Bill Simmons when Bill Simmons takes over Earth or repopulates Earth, I already know he's going to create some kind of new religion based around the god of Larry Bird or Bill Russell. If Tom Brady never left the Celtics, I already know it would have been God Tom Brady. It's too much for me, and Bill Simmons makes my list.
I think there are a lot of people who listen to this show who will have no idea who Bill Simmons is.
That's fine.
And I need you all to know that Bill Simmons is absolutely fucking insufferable. I need you guys to know that. I need you to trust me.
He really
that.
is.
He was absolutely in my A tier, despite the fact that most people listen to the show, or at least a solid chunk, probably do not know who he is. He is a sports personality. His big thing now is that he is the CEO of The Ringer, which you're probably familiar with, even if you aren't a sports person. There's a lot of non-sports content on The Ringer. But yeah, he is a massive, massive, massive Boston sports homer, and is, as I said, just absolutely insufferable, extraordinarily pompous and full of himself. And he just sucks in about every single possible way. And I think he's a great pick, even if he doesn't necessarily have the name recognition of a lot of these other celebs.
I'm on board. I don't really listen to him all that much.
And you should not. And you should.
Grantland
no
stuff.
one should.
No,
unless you're a Celtics
can't.
fan, I guess.
Yeah. No. It seems just like you took someone who's just not going to be a team player, and that's good. That's what you want. At all. Not
He's
even
just
a
the
little
worst,
bit.
man. He's just the worst. I fucking hate Bill Simmons so much. That's a great picture.
Wow. Okay. So I guess that sings it back to me.
I guess I can kiss any chance of our podcast ever being picked up by The Ringer goodbye, huh?
Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know that was like a huge possibility.
It was probably less.
maybe-
It was
maybe
probably more than
Grantland.
zero. It was
Maybe
a
Grantland will
non-zero
pick it up.
chance.
Okay. I have a weird choice here, but I feel like it's going to work with the couple people I have right now. I'm going to take Conor McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
So something about the athletes on this list very much attracted me to them for this particular exercise, because I don't think athletes, I think athletes are in the position they are in because they are certain types of people. Even the ones that we look up to the most and we love the most are still there because they have dedicated a lifetime to being in the 0.1%. And I think that makes you a certain kind of person. And there's nobody that seems to be more public facing about that kind of person than Conor McGregor. The things he brings to the table in terms of rebuilding the earth, he will beat the hell out of you. List over. I think he'd be good for defense if we're talking a zombie apocalypse here, but he doesn't seem to get along with people. He loves to talk a lot of trash. He's kind of, insensitive towards people, not like himself. So that's not great. So I think it's an interesting pick.
Yeah, he was fringe BA tier for me. I think it's become clear that you were attacking this a little bit differently than I am. You're concerned with the chemistry between the people you're taking. I was more thinking their individual imprints on laying the ground for civilization and just like how they would inject their own personalities into it. And I think Conor McGregor is a great pick for that reason. He's extremely misogynistic, homophobic, racist, basically every single bad thing you can be. He's just an ignorant asshole. And, beyond the whole combative thing, I think that is a pretty good reason to pick him for this kind of draft.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's not even a good fighter.
Damn.
Ooh, there's a hot take.
Hey, all right. Jon
Conor McGregor is the Star Wars of fighters.
I mean, he is on an impressive losing streak. But Jon starting beef with Conor McGregor is impressive. Conor McGregor loves beef. I'm not going to put out of the realm of possibility that he hears this and this finds its way to Conor. And Jon becomes his new mortal enemy.
I'm the Wagyu of beef.
Oh my God.
This could be huge for the show, actually. Drafted versus Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
We would blow up.
He can wrap his shins around me and give me a hug.
Oh my God. Okay.
That was dark.
Moving on.
That was dark. Yeah.
So now on like my part of the tier list, we're getting into people that aren't necessarily like outwardly evil. They've probably done some bad stuff in their life. Mm-hmm. But more than anything, they're just useless. They would have no use. And they would probably just like not really find their place in the new system we're building.
I think I have one left who's outwardly evil.
Interesting.
Even if he would almost certainly not think so. That is Dr. Phil.
Oh. Yeah, good pick.
Yeah, Dr. Phil was one tier lower for me. But I see what you're saying about him being he's
not a fucking doctor.
He's a grifter. Like that's what he is. He's a con artist.
you know how Jon was saying at the beginning, he was like, or maybe it was Preston saying this. One of the two of you said that you want like doctors, scientists. Well, please don't be confused by me taking Dr. Phil. Because he does not fall in any of those categories. He's a fucking fraud who lies to people and takes advantage of people, and he's just a blight on society.
The only thing worse than not having a doctor on your team at all is having a fake doctor.
Yeah, extremely true.
Daniel. Why would you
do this? Don't do this. Don't do this.
Daniel. No, he has to do it now. He has to.
It seems like you're caught up in your feelings, Daniel.
That's pretty good, I feel. I mean, I don't listen to a ton of Dr. Phil. One of my favorite Dr. Phil pieces of media, Gus Johnson has a video where he like watches and reacts to a Dr. Phil video, and it's perfect and really good. I'll post it in the Discord. Another reason to join the Discord. Dr. Phil is just the worst. He's just the worst. And I think he kind of fills into that same like bracket as Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. So maybe I'm not getting enough like differentiation of types of horribleness, but
I think you're okay.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yikes.
You might run into an issue by having Dr. Phil, Kanye, and Kim.
Because he's going to solve their problems and make them better people.
Yep.
It'll take a fake doctor to solve it.
Yeah, you know, Jon, I'm not that worried about that happening. I gotta be honest with
you. Hey, you might blink and then wake up with a really high functioning society after that. I'm just saying.
Maybe
you might lose on that.
Okay, so yeah, he was my last one that was in my like clear A tier of just horrible people.
Well, I think what makes him particularly bad is he's claiming to be great. That's what's unlike some of the other people.
And I think he probably actually thinks of himself as that. I don't think he just like push. I think he genuinely thinks he's making people's lives better. Yeah. Okay, so now I think it gets very, very tough. But I am going to take someone who I think is like she is a hot button issue right now. And that is J.K. Rowling. Ooh. Another person who has like a big fall from grace, has become the sort of grifter, like tried to retcon all the stuff in her novels for publicity, out for herself. And now she comes out as like this massive turf, and she just seems to suck in just about every single way. But she did write books that like defined, an entire generation's childhood. So
I don't want to undersell this because she's really bad, but like I don't know that she's like as legitimately awful as some of the other people we're going to talk about here. It seems like you could have gotten her very late.
Really? Okay. I mean,
but I will say our audience is probably going to be super.
Yeah. So I actually do have people ranked higher on my list. But I kind of last second audible because I feel like I'm hoping that the reaction is to see J.K. Rowling and be like, fuck J.K. Rowling. And then they vote for me as a result.
Mm-hmm.
And also I just felt like we're at the point where it's like you kind of mentioned it. Like there are people here who aren't as like actively evil. They're just people who have done bad things or whatever.
Right.
But the whole turf thing, I just don't even understand. Like it's
ridiculous.
It's such a weird stance to have, and then to have it so like vehemently. I don't get it. And she just sucks, man. J.K. Rowling fucking sucks. So that's why I'm taking her.
She's definitely gonna throw a wrench into your team. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think she's gonna create. She's definitely a very different personality type than all these people, and I can't see her getting along well with any of them. So that kind of brings in like the Preston style chemistry issues. I think.
Can we not call it Preston style? I mean,
well, just in terms of like your draft strategy.
No, I just don't want to be associated with that.
What about like P
That's totally fair. P style?
Yeah.
We can call it that if you want to.
P-zone? We're in the P-zone?
We're in the P zone. Also, the movies are better than the books, so
Whoa! You don't think that?
Yeah, you're not.
I do think that.
Actually,
I do think that. I do
really
actually believe that. Yes,
wow.
I do.
Really?
Get at me, draft board.
At Preston.
I don't need to explain myself. We have a time limit on this show. I don't need to explain myself, but get at me in the draft board.
The thing is, my first immediate thought was like, oh, that's the Twitter poll. But I think really the Twitter poll, the bonus poll is, does Preston actually think that? Because no one is going to agree with you.
Shit for content.
No one is going to agree with you that the movies are better.
Or you can ask, how many of the books has Preston actually read?
Ooh,
that's a little clue.
Let's get guesses.
It's a little clue into how evidence-based my take is.
First person to guess correctly gets a piece of free merch whenever we drop merch.
Ooh, love that.
Oh,
love that.
Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sound good? Okay, deal.
I'll buy.
Bucket hats?
Ooh.
Bucket hats is a good idea.
We will look into the bucket hats. I think we need to
what
find
goes
a new
on the
site
bucket hat, John?
because we need to have a site that has koozies. You can just put anything on
just
a
the
bucket
logo.
Yeah, the logo.
Yeah, put the logo. Yeah.
Daniel's face.
Great ideas, John. Great ideas.
I love
that. All right, Preston. Let's get this back on track here. What is your fourth pick?
Okay. I'm deciding between two. One of them plays an asshole on TV, but I think is less of an asshole in real life. And one of them plays less of an asshole on TV, but is an asshole in real life.
Ooh, I think I definitely know who one of the two of them is. I don't know who the second is.
I'm going to go with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, that was nice. That was my guess.
This is mainly a kind of hate for like people who are super into Boston and Boston culture. I just don't think any of them came out well, except for you and I have talked about Conan, Daniel. I think Conan came out okay, but he almost like has escaped that culture a little bit.
Yeah, we do love Conan.
Mark Wahlberg has a couple like legitimate hate crimes from when he was a kid.
It's pretty rough.
Like really, really bad. And even if like we've allowed this person room to grow, like he's still like kind of a typical Harvard Boston asshole that I definitely want to just throw into the mix here because I think they'll just be pure chaos.
I'm shocked.
Really? You a big Marky Mark fan over here?
Huge Marky Mark fan.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
I didn't mean to ruin your guy.
Good vibrations. You talk about an entrepreneur. You're trying to start a new
Wahlburgers.
That's
how are you gonna have society without Wahlburgers?
That's
Preston?
Donnie Wahlberger. But come on, you're starting a new world. Give this guy the keys. He's one of the hottest action stars on the planet. Funny guy too. You ever seen Ted? Not bad. Like, come on.
Not bad.
Come on.
I like how your argument for him as a great comedic actor is one movie. It's like it's not horrible.
It's not awful.
He was in a comedy that wasn't horrible.
The Other Guys, he's great.
I actually think The Other Guys is
The
better,
Other Guys.
I think it's good because he's playing who we all think he is, which is just this like blowhard asshole. Like I think that's what makes
he kind of becomes the joke.
Funny. Yeah,
he's a softie. He's a softie, I'm telling you.
He shot Jeter. He's not a softie.
He's a biracial angel.
I'm taking Mark Wahlberg because he shot Derek Jeter.
I will say that, like, I think in terms of contributions to society, apart from Harry Potter, the other guys is definitely number 2 in terms of things I'd actually want to keep from any of the people we've drafted so far.
Yeah, but that's more Will Ferrell, right? Like we can't give any of that to Mark Wahlberg.
I think you got to give a lot of it to Mark. I got to be honest.
Oh,
I mean,
I think most of it's Mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they're a great team.
No, it's all
I
Mark.
love that movie. I think it's one of the best comedies of the last 15, 20 years.
It's a really good thing he didn't take his extreme racism into the film.
Yeah, no, I will. That was all qualification. I still think it's a good pick. Mark Wahlberg definitely seems to be a pretty huge dick.
Yes.
But sometimes you got to remove the artist from the art, you know? An artist.
Also, Mark Wahlberg and
is
Conor
very
McGregor.
generous.
Mark Wahlberg and Conor McGregor. I'd buy tickets to that. Be incredible.
Definitely strong asshole energy coming from those
Yes.
guys.
Connor would probably die.
Because Mark Wahlberg is like racist against the Irish or something?
No, because Connor's a bad fighter, as we know. John is starting beef.
Right.
Who knows? Wahlberg, he could be Irish. They might turn out to be best friends. I don't think you guys are really thinking about this whole, chemistry thing.
Well, I don't. With a name like
If there's
Wahlberg,
one
I
thing
think
I know
Irish is a
about
long shot.
2 white dudes from Boston is that they're more likely to hate each other than love each other.
That's true.
That's a good point.
That's true.
John.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We've had our first pick where I think John might have taken Mark Wahlberg as a good pick for starting his Civilization. How does he refocus and take back-to-back picks here for the worst Civilization?
I'm a little shook. I'm not gonna lie, but my next pick might also be a surprise to you guys. But I'm thinking petty. I'm thinking backstabbing. I'm thinking doesn't have the guts or the will to do what it takes to start a new society. So I'm picking Kevin Durant.
Whoa! Oh my God!
Wow!
Out of nowhere. I'm emailing this to all of your coworkers as soon as we're done recording.
I think what
True.
happens,
John works for the NBA.
I think what happens is Kevin gets wind that Bezos and Elon started a new planet on Mars, and he's on the first flight out. I can't rely on him. Yeah,
he's
can't
out.
rely on him. Yeah.
Damn.
Wow,
Damn.
that's cold. Jeez.
That's a shocking pick. KD was not on my list. I see why you would want to make the pick. It's fun to rag on KD. But the thing about KD, I think, is deep down, he's probably actually a pretty good dude.
Yeah,
he's at the very least, he just kind of doesn't really know what he's getting himself into sometimes. But that causes more pity than it does like you're a huge jerk, Yeah, like the whole thing with the fake Twitter account is just like, ugh. But who is that really hurting? Yeah,
that's the thing. His biggest flaw is that he yearns for everyone to like him.
Yeah, which is the same thing as everybody else we've drafted up to this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but he's not an asshole about it. He just is kind of sad about it. Like he's got kind of sad boy energy about him, Like he just wants to be accepted.
Energy.
He
does have some sad boy energy.
I mean, as a sports fan, I was really mad at him for going to the Warriors. Not to bug this episode down with too much sports talk, but I don't know. I feel like the backlash against KD has gone too far. I feel like he's become a sympathetic figure again.
This is the moment it's gone too far. John drafted him. It was appropriate up until 15 seconds ago.
John saying he's one of the 12 worst people to reform Civilization around, I think, is the moment we jump the shark on the KD hate.
It's
on this list. On this list, yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, come on.
Kevin Durant was not on my list either, but I love it for the content. It's just fantastic.
It's great
thinking in that way. You weren't thinking
I wasn't.
in that way.
I was too inside the box. I apologize.
Yeah.
And I already know he hates Bill Simmons, so there's more for it.
There's a great pair.
Not to go back to Bill Simmons because not everyone knows who he is, and then everyone hates Bono, so we're good.
Right.
Then for my next pick, I think Preston was going here at one point when he was talking about Boston natives and just people that are kind of hated, and this guy, it's tough. he comes from a duo, and I would say he's the least favorite of the duo, maybe the more annoying of the duo from Boston that makes movies. He has a really dumb tattoo on his back. He is all over the place, and most recently, all up in J-Lo. I'm going Ben Affleck for my next.
This is a great pick. This is a great pick.
Is this a great pick?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got to say, it's not who Preston was talking about. I'm 99% sure.
It's not. It's not. But very similar to the Mark Wahlberg pick. History of some pretty bad scandals in his past. We don't have to get into it. Not the best. But also just kind of like seems like a jerk, right? If I gave you a headline, it was like USA Today, and it was like, blank actor yells at cameraman in profanity-laced tirade as he flips sandwich desk on top of Steven Spielberg. You would fill that in with like Ben Affleck, right?
Vin Diesel.
Christian Bale, Mark Wahlberg. I don't know about Vin Diesel.
No,
Vin Diesel seems like he's got a cuddly side.
Only if the
We
Rock
think
was
is Christian
there.
Bale an asshole?
Oh yeah, didn't you hear about that
seems
whole
like it.
thing?
What happened?
He pulled like a Kiefer Sutherland, where he.
What did Kiefer Sutherland do?
Oh no, we're just ruining everybody
Oh
for
my
Dan.
God.
No, I mean I don't really care about Kiefer Sutherland.
They both won on tirades at.
Listen,
that.
it's demanding work being an actor. Okay, you're under a lot of stress and pressure. It's hard.
That's true.
They only make how many millions? You know, it's tough.
Well, they don't all make millions, Daniel.
I'm pretty sure all the ones we just mentioned
not
do.
an extra in a music video.
That's true.
No,
I don't know.
like
I didn't have Ben Affleck on my list. I got to be honest. Maybe it's my
Here's
soft
the
spot
thing.
for Good Will Hunting. I don't know.
Here's the thing: on Ben Affleck's best day, he's still not super helpful.
No.
He's still just gonna be like, "What do you want me to do?" That sounds hard.
And
And he's just gonna be like, "Oh."
That's true. I didn't really think about this at all from like these people just needing to be able to survive as the 6 last people. I haven't really considered that. But you're right. I think Ben Affleck would probably be quite bad at that.
You are very distrustful of the judgment of one J-Lo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you seen Ben Affleck?
That's a great point. Solid point.
Yeah.
Solid point.
And he'll never.
She doesn't have a great track record. Ever since she broke up with Mark Antony, it's been all downhill.
A-Rod?
Yeah.
I
mean, that's the biggest red flag, I would say.
I mean,
Yeah, I
should
think so too.
should we just skip to draft J-Lo's best partners?
drafting J-Lo's exes to do something with them.
Yeah.
Future episode. John will be the guest.
Probably enough. And Ben will never be as good as Matt Damon. He'll always be in the shadow.
Did J-Lo date Matt Damon?
No, but Ben
No,
and
it's just
Matt
like-
Damon are like that duo.
We
That
love
duo.
Matt Damon. We love
Yeah.
Matt Damon. Although I think like the pockmark for Matt Damon was like, didn't Ben Affleck get caught up in like the Me Too thing? So
Probably.
someone close to
He
Matt
is.
Damon got caught up
He
in the Me
has-
Too thing, and
Ben
Matt Damon
Affleck
didn't
has-
really come out strongly against it.
Yes.
He was like,
Ben Affleck
"Well."
has credible accusations, as does Casey Affleck. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know that the Casey Affleck shit is like clearly fucked up. I
Yes.
couldn't remember the details of what the Ben Affleck stuff was, but I do remember being disappointed in Matt Damon because he clearly was not, calling out a guy because he was his friend, which is fucked up.
Yeah.
Your friends do fucked up shit. You gotta call them out on it.
Hey, like Vin Diesel says, man, you can't turn your back on family even when they turn your back on you.
So true.
When they turn their back on you.
So true.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
Vin.
true.
Thanks. Amen.
Thanks, Vin.
Amen, Vin.
Wow.
He'll never
Where
make
the
this
hell that
list,
came
I'll
from.
tell you that.
Vin does seem like a sweetheart. Preston, I think the player you were debating with last round is still there for you. I'm assuming you're going to take him now.
I don't know. Because it seems like the kind of person that might have a cuddly soft side. I will
I
say,
think he
because I
might.
don't think anybody's going to take him. Like Gordon Ramsay's on this list. And Gordon Ramsay
Gordon-
so
Gordon
clearly,
Ramsay's
like, he
clearly
plays
an
a
act.
jerk on TV,
Yeah.
but he clearly, like, when it's like good for the plot of whatever show he's on, and also like in real life seems to be like a relatively supportive and like kind of nice
Mhm.
guy. If somebody's not being a total jerk to him, or
And
serving him
he
benefit.
would contribute a very real value to Reforming
Oh,
Society,
yeah.
which is like culinary expertise.
Yes. So I'm not taking Gordon Ramsay, but I
Yeah.
just found that interesting that I was thinking about if somebody would have. Okay.
He's
I'm
no
gonna
Bobby
take somebody-
Souffle, though.
You just
So
spitting
true.
out draft
John
ideas
just
for
went
us.
just the truth bombs on us this episode.
All right, I'm going to take somebody that, again, is not going to contribute anything and whose kind of sole purpose seems to be they just want to start shit. But I'm worried one of you is going to come back at me and say, no, actually, this guy's like a really good dude. I'm going to say Howard Stern. Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
no
The
argument
silence
from
speaks
us.
volumes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know enough about Howard Stern.
He's just kind of a jerk. Like, I don't think he's got like a ton that's like really bad, like some of the other people we've drafted, but like does not seem like he'd be helpful at all. Does not bring a whole lot to the table. And he seems like actually kind of close to Rush Limbaugh, and like his sole purpose is just to like start shit with people. Obviously Rush Limbaugh's worse. We've gone over that, but I think a talk radio personality is like a good career to take if you want the least useful post-apocalyptic thing.
Now I will point out
party though.
True.
There was that one that was I don't know if that's what brought him over the edge of fame or just got him in a lot of trouble, but when he invited or continues to invite all of the entertainers, the dancers onto his show, which is a radio show, an audio medium.
Right.
So you can imagine where the microphone
Well,
goes.
there's a visual component as well. You can watch the Howard
Well, you
Stern
can
show.
now, but previously, I think the first time. So you can imagine where the microphone was placed in that time. I think I was a little too young to know what was going on with that, but
Me too.
yeah,
I think I'm still too young to know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, we'll run it through you after the
Yeah.
show, man. It's fine.
I will point out, and maybe I should wait to point this out after the show, but Preston is light and John even lighter on women presence, which will make it difficult to restart civilization at all.
That's good. Right.
That's a great point. Yeah,
That's good.
We're creating the worst team.
It's true. It's
And
going to be physically impossible.
That feels a little cop-outy though. If you're like, well, I only picked men, therefore I can't restart humanity.
No, I was thinking about mentioning that. I think the kind of biological part of it kind of has to be taken out of the question here.
Okay.
Just
All right.
It may
Fair
not,
enough.
but also Daniel. I mean, there's a lot worse men, more incompetent men.
On average.
I agree
Yes.
with that.
Yeah,
I do agree with that.
yeah. There would probably be too much brain power if we had too many.
Too much chance you could turn it around.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just say
Too much
I
chance
have,
for personal growth.
Yeah.
I have made a concerted effort to try to make it 50-50 on my team. Just saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think that's making your team better and therefore worse.
Yeah. Agreed.
Perhaps. Okay. This next pick may surprise some of you, but I am going to take DJ Khaled.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
He's one of the nicest people on the planet.
He seems
No
to
way.
be so chill, is he not?
No way.
The only reason he's gotten his fame is from how nice he is to
No,
everybody.
that is not
How he
true. That is
brings
not
people
true.
up
That
with
is not
him.
true. Listen, not to get too graphic, but the most fucked up thing about DJ Khaled
Graphic.
is, he says that he does not go down on his wife, but he expects her to blow him
Why are we talking about
Daniel.
this?
because it is extremely damning.
Beep that entire sentence.
No,
Yeah,
come
we're
on.
just-
You leave it in.
You cannot
Leave it
rest,
in.
You cannot rest your laurels on that. Please tell
Yes,
me
you
that
can.
That is not the only
You can. There's no way he's a
Can
good
you
dude.
find a
There's-
way to say it differently that is more appropriate for our listeners?
How else? How would you have said it?
I don't know. I probably wouldn't have said it at all.
Daniel,
I
you
agree with
could've-
you. It's fairly damning, but it doesn't make
It
him
is
one of
well.
the
It's
worst people on the
it's a
planet.
core tenet of why I'm picking him. It has to be discussed. Listen, read
Daniel.
a whole episode about Greek gods fucking each other and discussing their vast history of raping people. I think this is fine to discuss on the show.
Daniel. You could have said he's like a giver, not a taker. But
No, the
or a
opposite is
taker,
the opposite
not a
is true.
giver.
He's a taker,
Yeah,
not
he's
a
a
giver.
taker, not a giver. But Daniel, I just want you to know that while you think DJ Khaled is one of the worst people on the planet, he has a foundation called
They all have foundations,
They all
John.
have foundations.
Literally every one of them.
We the Best Foundation.
We the best. This is another thing. This is another big reason. Think about DJ Khaled as the only musical person left from society, and
Be
think about what
legendary.
that does.
That
That's a
dude,
nightmare scenario.
He makes great beats.
No, come on.
There are other more nightmare.
You want to hear every single song that starts with DJ Khaled? No.
Yeah, I do.
Or-
They're great. And I want to hear all about Ciroc. Celebrate success the only way.
Wait, I thought Ciroc was P Diddy.
Yeah, but he's boys with P Diddy also on this list. Come on, man.
I don't know. I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about
like
DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled, outside of the bedroom, exudes a very supportive presence.
No, he's
very encouraging.
He's annoying. He's annoying and is clearly a misogynist.
I don't know how you got there, but
that seems like a little bit. That seems like
come on, man. You can't say that in a public setting. Like it's like one thing to feel that way, but then to say it that like you expect women to go down on you, but like you refuse to do it in a public, like it was a fucking interview for a magazine or some shit.
Daniel, have you ever heard a Jeremiah song or a 50 Cent song?
Yeah, but neither of them are on this list.
We could keep going down the list.
I agree. It's problematic, but neither of them are on the list. I'm taking DJ Khaled, and I think it's a good pick. Okay. My last pick. This is tougher.
If you say The Rock, I'm hanging up.
No. Okay. The Rock seems like a nice.
The Rock seems like a genuinely good dude.
Yeah. DJ Khaled does not. And I will go to the grave on that.
I disagree.
I will die on that hill.
Well, I can't wait to be at your funeral and
and show up with DJ Khaled.
Yeah, etched on your tombstone. Yeah. It turns out he was a good dude.
Yeah. After he's somehow saved the world,
cured. He like found the cure for some incredibly rare
I'm shocked.
disease.
I'm shocked that you guys like DJ Khaled. Genuinely,
I don't like him, but we're talking about the 18 worst people on the planet here, and he does not even crack.
Well, no, but no. I mean, they have to be on the list. They have to be on this list of 100.
Still, I don't think he would be in the top half of the list for me.
No,
but I did not know the comments you made. Those are bad.
They're not great. They're fucked up.
There's some pretty bad people on here.
But we're at the point where these people probably aren't really that bad. But my final pick, which is really my closer here, this is another person who I think most people loved for a long time. She seemed delightful and funny and kind.
No. I know where you're going.
And has recently been discovered to be an absolute fucking psychotic monster. And that seems just like a really bad energy to have as one of the 6 people that you're restarting civilization with. And so it makes me sad to have to do this, but I have to because she's revealed who she really is. And that is Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, yeah.
Had her on the list. I don't know.
I didn't want to do it.
Details about. I don't know enough details about like what's truly bad. I just heard like, you shouldn't like this person anymore, and I heard it from people I trust, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm with you. But like, I don't really know what the deal is. Can you do it in a way that doesn't bum everybody out?
I mean, no, not really. I think she's just a horrible person to everyone who works for her. Is just an absolute monster, entitled. Abusive emotionally, verbally. She just seems like one of the worst people.
I don't know. From the stuff I read, it seemed like it was coming from another person, and she just didn't do anything to stop it. She was compliant or unaware.
No, I think she negligent. So there is some of that. So like she fostered a work culture where no one was held accountable, but she also was responsible for a lot of it.
Okay.
I think it all kind of started at the top.
This is sad.
I know. It's okay. It wasn't like you ruined Ellen for me. Like she was already kind of ruined.
Yeah. I mean, she ruined herself, not my fault. Don't shoot the messenger.
I might. That way I can, at your funeral, tell everyone that DJ Khaled's a good guy.
Right. All right, Preston, you got your final pick now.
Yeah, I'm doing some like last second research here. I think I'm going to play for like, as a reaction, if somebody sees this person, I don't think they're going to think about it too long, especially as my last pick. I'm cool kind of taking a risk there. They're just going to react quickly and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And I'm going to take Simon Cowell. Now, I think
the one
Simon
you teased
Cowell,
a couple of picks ago.
Yeah. I think Simon Cowell like more plays it up a little bit on TV, but from what I gather, he's still kind of a jerk. He's probably not as much of a jerk as he plays on TV, and like he's playing that character, or he did in like early American Idol or whatever. But like, it's still not great, and still like kind of Dr. Phil situation. We're still just by playing that person, you're doing a disservice. So that's what I'm going with.
See, I don't know. I did consider Cal. He is on my list, but the more I thought about it, the more I mean, I can't say this personally, but I feel like I've seen him in enough context where he's not judging a reality show. And he just doesn't seem that bad. Like, he seems to have a pretty good sense of humor. He seems to kind of appreciate what his character is. I think he did a very good job of developing his character and making him name for himself as a big asshole. But you know what they say about actors is that it takes a nice person to act as a jerk.
Interesting.
To act as a good jerk.
So we think he might be that's why I made the Gordon Ramsay comparison. Because I think this maybe
it's
is
just
one of those
maybe it's just a gut feeling. Maybe there are examples out there that I'm unaware of him being like an actual asshole in like serious settings.
I've seen a couple, but none of them are like very recent. That's the thing. It's like supposedly as he got more famous, he actually started to turn his act around a little bit. But I'm not sure. I will say someone who I always kind of attach him with in my mind, because I think like this person is actually the real life Simon Cowell, is Piers Morgan, and I would have much rather
Piers Morgan
taken Piers Morgan here.
Odie's
not on the list.
Odie's
Not on
being
the list.
Piers Morgan would be right up there with like Hannity Ellen Ball for me if he were eligible.
He's terrible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, but I see Piers Morgan as like, he watched Simon Cowell on TV and is like, I'm going to be that guy in everything I do, and just kind of became that person.
Yeah, he sucks.
Anyways.
Okay. So yeah, I think, especially if you want to, hype up the whole, we can only assume he's an asshole because that's basically how we always see him.
Right.
But
and like I said, I think people are going to react
like
very quickly. People are going to just like reflexively be like, oh yeah, jerk.
Yeah.
But I am with you. I suspect maybe there's more to it than that.
Yeah. He also clearly seems like a smart guy.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
He's in a very good job of developing. Like he's identified a lot of talent. Like, isn't he responsible for One Direction? I think he brought One Direction together,
and a few others, I think, too.
Yeah,
Yes.
and clearly has made a very strong brand for himself, which ultimately isn't like that harmful. He says mean things to individuals who mostly deserve it. Because like, why the fuck are you on a show about singing when you clearly can't sing?
I do seem to have a certain vibe here where half my team, Sean Hannity, Howard Stern, and Simon Cowell, kind of all occupy a similar space.
Now, I will say I do almost feel sorry for Kylie Jenner at this point, looking at your.
She's going to be freaking miserable.
Yeah.
Oh,
You kind of turned her into a sympathetic figure here.
That's true. I did a little bit.
But John, how are you rounding out your team with the final pick of the worst celebs to restart the civilization of humanity draft?
My final pick, I'm honestly surprised that this person's still on the list, because you guys were talking early on about just irredeemable assholes. And I think this guy, I guess I gave it away. It's another guy, is way high up on there. Insider trading, just got a smug smile on his face all the time. He always looks like he's up to something, and he always thinks he's better than he is, but he'll never be number one. And that's Phil Mickelson.
Phil Mickelson.
Lefty.
Damn, dude.
Phil Mickelson was on my list.
Was he
really?
Was
on my list, yeah.
He was not on mine.
Very, very low down. Again, I started to lean on athletes when I was rounding out the very bottom of my list, because I think there's certain types of people that wouldn't be great in this situation. But yeah, you're right. He has like some gambling stuff that he's trying to cover up.
Women, gambling, insider trading. He's
the
just
insider
a
trading thing was
messed up of a person.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like a scumbag to me, though. He just seems like your average rich dude. You want to talk about foundations? Hasn't he done like a tremendous amount for cancer research?
Doesn't
his
matter.
wife?
Apparently doesn't matter, but yes, you're correct.
Yeah. So it only matters for DJ Khaled.
He does those charity tournaments, which I think are very cool, and they help present him as a very likable figure.
Exactly. He's being presented.
Well, listen, if you want to pay $10 million to present yourself as a likable figure and donate it to something, I'm more than willing to let you do that.
I had to say I had a few more athletes on my list. Phil Mickelson was not on there.
Wow.
I also had a few more athletes too. I guess we'll get into that in the second half of the show.
Yeah.
That is the final pick, though, of the draft. So before we take it over to the second half of the show where we discuss the picks, Let me give the quick rundown. John is restarting Civilization with Rush Limbaugh, Bono, Bill Simmons, Kevin Durant, Ben Affleck, and Phil Mickelson. Preston has Sean Hannity, Kylie Jenner, Conor McGregor, Mark Wahlberg, Howard Stern, and Simon Cowell.
Oh my God.
And I have Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, Dr. Phil, J.K. Rowling, DJ Khaled, Ellen. What a disastrous lineup of just horrible people. All three of those teams are. So we're going to take a quick breather. I'll be right back to break those teams down in just a second. Okay, well, I have a bad feeling about this question because you both seem to kind of jump on it right away. What was the worst pick of the draft?
It's a tie for me between DJ Khaled and KD. I don't find KD to be that... Like, I think compared to the people he's around, I can see like a little bit of slimy, like if you compare him to like Steph and LeBron and stuff. But that's not super fair. Like we're comparing KD to like the worst of the worst here, and I don't feel like he fits in with that crowd. And
He feels extremely out of place to me too.
Yeah, DJ Khaled does too.
No, you guys just don't know DJ Khaled like I do.
No, he's way
not in the bedroom. We don't know.
Yeah.
That's for sure. We don't know his habits. That's for sure.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that one, so I'm not.
I don't know how you guys missed that. You guys follow the wrong Twitter accounts, I guess.
Apparently, yeah.
Apparently, I followed the right Twitter accounts to not have encountered that news.
I'm not on celebrity fellatio.
Oh, did you guys know that he also Snapchat streamed the birth of his son?
Got to
Yeah.
content.
Is that not the most like
Hashtag
psychopathic behavior you've ever heard?
Listen,
There's
it's not
no way
great.
he's a good guy.
It's not great, but who's he really hurting there?
It's just bad. It's just not a thing you want to be leaning into for like the foundation of your next civilization. Like, can we not all agree that social media is one of the worst things about?
Well, listen,
society?
it's not great, but there are other choices on here that I think would have been worse, meaning better.
All right,
It's confusing lingo we're getting into.
And let me defend the Kevin Durant one. I went
Good luck.
all in. Thank you. I went all in on chemistry and nailing a bad chemistry of people that won't fit. You got a Kevin Durant, when it comes to chemistry, just doesn't fit. He will totally backstab everyone, and he's just not a bad.
I don't think he is going to backstab anyone. You know what Kevin Durant's going to do? He's going to leave.
He's just going to chill.
He's going to be like, yeah, exactly. So therefore, he's not making civilization worse.
Yeah,
He's
neutral
like,
is
okay,
not good enough for this.
fuck
draft.
all y'all. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm just going to die happy, peacefully on my own.
He's
I
going
don't
to
give a damn about any of y'all.
He's going to leave.
Yeah, but leaving
it's
is
a net
better.
zero. I think
Leaving is a better outcome than you could have instead
And
of taking someone else who actively makes the situation worse.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's why I think if you wanted to go athlete, and I would have taken this person over Phil Mickelson as well, Tom Brady, specifically for your team because you have Bill Simmons. Imagine a society created by Bill Simmons and Tom Brady.
No, it would never.
That's clearly worse than KD or Phil Mickelson, in my opinion.
Because Bill Simmons would just be gawking at Tom Brady the whole time. It would
It would just be a never-ending.
But Tom is not.
I don't listen.
Tom is a bad guy. That is bullshit. He was publicly a Trump supporter. He refused to ever step away from the Trump stuff, which was bullshit. He also pushes all the kinds of like fucking cockamamie schemes to get himself rich. Tom Brady is not a good guy.
Didn't he recently denounce all of the Donald?
What? I don't know if he did, but it's a little too fucking late for that.
Daniel, I think you might be a little jealous because Tom is a great football player.
How many rings you got, huh?
He's got a lot of rings.
Listen,
and
he's a great football player. I took him in the
Tampa Bay Bucks fan prior to the last season. I can tell you that I did not like him, but now.
But now, miraculously, for whatever reason.
Oh no! Tom Brady can't take anything away from his football playing acumen. I do think he's overrated as a football player. Still, I drafted him on my team in the NFL quarterbacks to survive or compete in the Hunger Games.
You did.
List. So like he clearly has strong value in his.
Your reasoning is because God would make him win.
Yeah, he would win. He just would win, and there's no arguing that.
Why wouldn't you pick Tebow?
Oh Lord.
Because Tim Tebow doesn't win anything. Anyway, we're getting off track here. Tom Brady's a
Yeah.
bad dude. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is.
Wrong.
Listen,
Wow.
if you were a celebrity who publicly endorsed Donald Trump, then fuck you.
I don't have the
Forever.
evidence nor patience to participate in this conversation.
Then I'm glad I get the final word. My worst pick, I think, has to be Katie. Katie does genuinely seem like a good dude. Like he clearly has character flaws that I think are detrimental more to himself than anything else. And I agree. I don't think I don't think him being mad at Bill Simmons is going to lead to a bad civilization. I think he's be like, okay, I'm just like going to walk away and not be part of this. I think that's exactly what Katie would do in that scenario. What was the one person you wanted to pick, but were unable to? And I think it would be interesting in this point to highlight people who were not eligible to be picked. For example, I would have loved to have taken either of the Paul brothers, who I think are two of the most reprehensible people creating content in the world today. But they apparently did not make enough money last year to make the Forbes 100 list.
I endorse that. I would have also taken them too. The couple people that were on the list that I was looking at, Cristiano Ronaldo, as much as I like watching him play soccer, is a true just jerk and has some pretty credible, nasty allegations towards him, and seems like he just wouldn't get along with anybody. And then much less so, but if we were going significantly deep in this draft, I was thinking I was thinking about Serena Williams.
Whoa!
No, listen.
What?
Listen to me. She's a good person. I think she's a good person. I don't think she's a bad person. I don't think she would be good at working with the other people I have here. That's it. That's why I didn't take her, is because I think she's legitimately like fine. But like types of competitors like she is are not good at stuff like this. They're not good at nation building. That's all I'm saying.
I have never been more shocked on this show, and I guess I kind of get your reasoning, but the fact that you're even considering taking Serena, who for me would have been one of my top picks if we were forming good people to
see, and I think that's a mistake. And it's not, again, you're oversimplifying it. It's not just picking like good people. It's like people who bring something to the table. And like I think she's such a crazy competitor, and like I said with some of these other athletes, like putting themselves clearly, like Conor McGregor's like a much more extreme version of this, obviously. I think she's a fine person. I just don't think she would be good at something like this. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. Hottest take maybe in the history of the show.
It's really not. It's really not that hot of a take, because I'm basically saying nothing.
I hope people listen into the second half of the show before voting and then hear this take and out of spite do not vote for Preston's team.
Get out of here.
Simply because he besmirched the unbesmirchable Serena Williams.
I was going to go with, if I could pick anyone not on this list, there's a lot of people to pick. I was thinking someone like Alex Jones. You could always go like Harvey Weinstein. You could go up that alley if you really wanted to. You know, it's really never ending. You could pick a lot of people. Joe Rogan, I think I probably would have put on that list.
Yeah.
How is Joe Rogan not on this list?
I don't know. I thought he made money. Must be a lie.
Must be a lie.
Well, the cutoff was what, like $35 million or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's an asshole. He sucks. Just I've already highlighted Tom Brady and the Paul brothers, but I will also say I had my other athletes I had were Drew Brees and Novak Djokovic.
I had as well.
And the Drew Brees is a little recency bias. Like I probably never would have ended up taking him.
Oh,
right.
Because like he does seem like he's done a lot of like actual good charity and stuff. But his take on the whole kneeling thing was not great. But Novak Djokovic, and this pains me because for a long time I was a really big Novak Djokovic fan. I think he's an incredible tennis player who's very, very fun to watch. But he has just a lot of really bad opinions on things that would not be great to have as one of the 6 foundational minds of a new civilization.
Can I ask a weird question here?
Yeah, please.
Did anybody consider, even for a moment, taking Tiger Woods?
No.
I'm just curious, like, where Tiger is at in the culture right now.
Has he done anything wrong?
Well,
I'm kidding.
That's a loaded question.
You straight faced that for a long time, and I was genuinely concerned.
Now, Tiger does have a very interesting kind of character arc. He became like a very real villain, and then redeemed himself for I don't really know what reason, other than that, like he came back after being bad at golf for a long time, and he was good at golf for a bit.
Yeah.
I just think seemingly the biggest flaw with Tiger Woods is that he's got a lot of demons. Yeah. You know, he's got a lot of vices, and I don't necessarily think that makes him an evil person on the same level as most of these other people that were picked.
Yeah, definitely not on the same level of evil as Serena Williams.
Yeah.
I'm banning you from cutting that out. That has to stay in.
No. Let me cut it. I don't think you understood the point I was trying to make there.
No, we should leave that in.
You guys are the worst.
I mean, we're recklessly speculating on everyone on this list. We are totally just trashing these people without
totally
we don't know any. I mean, listen, I think some of these are pretty safe bets that they're actually like odious scumbags.
Yeah,
I
don't have a hunch that Sean Hannity in his downtime is actually a great guy.
Just a real teddy bear. Yeah. Same. Same. Okay. Final question of the show. Who did the best job of picking the worst people here? Who won the draft?
It's tough. I think Preston might have the best of the worst. Honestly,
the best worst.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I drafted at a lot of very convenient spaces.
Yeah.
I got the last alt-righty guy. I got the last Kardashian. I got the first athlete. I feel like I got a lot of value out of where I was. And I feel like for the matchups against the two of you, I have kind of superior versions of anything you could throw at me. or really inferior versions, if that's what we're saying.
Well, I didn't push back on this during the draft, but I do not agree that Kylie Jenner is like the worst of the Kardashian Jenner West family to pick. I feel like Kim and Kanye, despite not making as much money, I think it clearly had a larger impact on
give it time.
The culture.
Give it time.
Maybe right.
Impact per year, I think, is absolutely going Kylie's direction.
You're right. I still like my team. I am worried. I'm surprised you guys were so opposed to the DJ Khaled pick. I did not expect anyone to really have any sympathy for DJ Khaled. I find him to be pretty annoying musically.
But that's not like a crime.
No, I know. Yeah. But also the only other things I know about him are bad.
You just know the one other thing about him, though.
No, well, this really weird. Listen, the live streaming.
Wait, it was a live stream? That's even weirder that you know about that.
No, he live streamed his child. I just looked it up. I looked it up on his Wikipedia. It's like, I want to see what else bad I can say about DJ Khaled.
You found out
that's just
about
a weird thing. That's just a weird thing.
Dude, see,
to me, like doing that on social media is kind of like KD's troubles with social media, where it's like, this is just weird. Why are you doing this? And it's not forgivable, but I'm like, it's not criminal either.
No, it's not criminal. But I mean, most of the people on this draft have not done anything criminal.
Daniel, you're telling me if Pampers called and they were like, hey, we'll give you $2 million if you live stream the birth of your child, are you in?
No.
What?
No.
$2 million? I'm
not going to live stream the birth of my fucking child.
You're pretending like
it's also not my fucking decision to do that.
But you're pretending this was done without the consent of the mother. Yeah. And
no, I'm not. The mother could have consented. I just think it's immensely like fucking weird to live stream the birth of your child.
Do you want me to ask Lauren right now if she would live stream the birth of our child for $1 million? I bet she would say yes.
Do it
I'm
now.
Willing to bet.
Do it right now.
That is upsetting to me. Like, people are too on social media. People are too on social media if they're fucking live streaming.
People also need money. Sue me.
Okay, DJ Khaled one. DJ Khaled, I guarantee you, was not paid $2 million by Pampers to live stream the birth of the child. And two, he does not fucking need the $2 million, even if he was.
Also true.
I just also don't like. Honestly, more so, I picked DJ Khaled because I think the idea of him being like the musical god of a new society is a fucking nightmare scenario. For me personally.
All right.
And on that note,
how do you really feel?
Yeah. On that note,
he's such an urchin, man. He just leeches onto people with actual talent. I don't know. I was surprised the pushback. So if it's not my team, I think I do take Preston. The Kevin Durant pick is just so weird to me. I really think Kevin Durant is like a sympathetic figure at this point. Like it is fun to rip him on and clown on him on Twitter for the whole alt account things, but we loved Kevin Durant. Like when he cried because his mom was the real MVP.
Oh, that was great.
Like that's still the same dude. Just because he's in his own head about people not liking him, or not valuing the championships he's won.
He's not a leader. And when you look at this group of people that are supposed to be
it is so unfair to say
and leading a new world, come on.
Yeah, and that's why the US
Limbaugh,
lost
Bono.
That's why the US lost gold in men's basketball just recently. Oh wait,
they won.
Freaking balled out.
Dang it. They
balled
won.
out. And there's no reason for him to play on the US Olympic team. There's really not. There's no motivation for him, and he went there and he balled out anyways because he seems like he wanted to.
Yeah. So sorry, John. I can't vote for your team, even if I can't vote for my own. It's got to be Preston as my second choice.
That settles it. It's me.
So yeah, that's the end of the episode. John, thank you so much for joining us once again. We hope you had fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it as always.
We love having you on. You're our first repeat guest of season 2. How does that feel?
Wow.
What an honor,
I didn't know that. That is an honor. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Let's make it a 3-time thing. 4-time maybe.
Well, well, I'm sure we'll have you on in the future. We do want to say that next week will be the final regular episode of the season, and we will be back the following week with our season in review show. But John, while you're here, is there anything you want to promote? Do you need to get your name out there? Where can we follow you on Twitter? All that sort of stuff.
No, yeah, sure. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram. It's at Jon B. Wolf, JONBWOLF. Love having the followers, having conversation, and happy to crack jokes anytime you want, especially if they're at Daniel's expense.
They're always at my expense, it seems. But yeah, tweet John and tell him how wrong he is about Kevin Durant. And I will post the links to those in the Discord as well. Yet another reason to join the Discord. Be sure to join us there. Follow us on Twitter. Vote. That's where you can vote for the poll at DraftedPod on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram as well at DraftedPod. You can email us draftedpod@gmail.com. And if you can and are willing and would like to support the show, we do have a Patreon, and that means a lot to us, to all of our people who are supporting us over there. Thank you so much. But for Press and myself, we will talk to you guys in one more week.